Foundation Radio is brought to you by 10th Ward Barbershop, a full-service barbershop offering high-quality haircuts, beard trims, and hot shaves. 10th Ward Barbershop proudly serves the historic Lawrenceville 10th Ward and surrounding Pittsburgh areas. Adam frequents 10th Ward Barbershop when he swings through the area and loves Ryan Kane's laser-sharp precision on both his hair and beard needs. But you don't have to take his word for it. WWE Superstars Finn Balor and Corey Graves frequent 10th Ward Barbershop for their hair and beard needs. The team at 10th Ward accepts walk-ins, but schedules fill up quickly, so the best way to see them is to make an appointment at 10thwardbarbershop.com. That's 10th wardbarbershop.com. Make sure to grab some Silk Panther hair products in-shop or online while you're there. Schedule your appointment today to see Kane, Jordan, and the rest of the team at 10th Ward Barbershop today, and we thank them for sponsoring the program.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is WWE Superstar Karrion Kross on Monday Night Raw Netflix, and you are now watching Foundation Radio TikTok.
This is Foundation Radio. Here is your host, Adam Barnard.
Peace world, and welcome everybody to Foundation Radio. My name is Adam Barnard. Thank you so much for joining me again today. My guest is one of the most talked about superstars in WWE today, fresh off his PLE match past Saturday, Karrion Kross. It is a pleasure to have you, sir.
Thank you very much for having me, Ben.
This movement that's come up with this Want Kross has been one of the most organic things I've seen in wrestling in a long time, potentially since Kofi Mania. When did you first become aware of the groundswell of support behind you?
I felt it coming after the match with AJ this year. I felt it a way that people were receiving me. It was very different right when, I have to say, I was working actually with Kofi and Woods and Miz and Truth at the time. I felt something change, something, was landing very differently. But it really began to spark after that match with AJ. And there was a promo that I did online, and it was right after the match with AJ. And something resonated with people. Something began to click right there. That's where it started. And then I felt it in Las Vegas with the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. I got dumped out by Dragon Lee, and the crowd booed. That was it started to go up. I started to feel it, right? And then obviously the Sam Roberts podcast, how people reacted to that. And then we were off to the races, and I was blown away, man. And because it wasn't something that I was necessarily, you can't create something like that. That's not something that you can create. It's something that happens. But for me, every single day that I went in, I was just trying to do the best job that I could, like any day. But I just began to approach things a little bit differently. I started to kind of change gears, so to speak. For a really long time, they wanted that quiet, dark, and stoic guy. And I really strongly feel like the dark, quiet, stoic guy, that works when you're kind of running everybody over. And we haven't done that probably since 2020 or 2021.
Right.
There's nothing scary about Michael Myers if you can walk up to him and kick him in the nuts. He can only follow you for so long until every single kid in the neighborhood is kicking him in the nuts. You're like, well, that's just the guy in a mask. So, I just changed my cadence, and I adjusted to, a little bit more of an entertaining presentation rather than the creepy guy.
Now, you had your first singles match on a PLE since 2022, like we said, this past Saturday in Saudi Arabia. I was in Las Vegas, and I'll be honest with you, I was one of the people that booed. I'm sorry. I have to admit, I wanted you to win the Battle Royal. I booed very loudly. But the crowd was electric for you in Saudi Arabia. Tell me about that moment, being in the ring, even at the press conference before with Sami, and the feelings that you had going into the match.
It felt incredible. And, I've gone on record to say I've been to Saudi Arabia 5 times. I've only competed once, but every single time I've gone there, I was received, and Scarlett as well, very, very warmly by the audience. I've gone for media and such. I wasn't entirely positive that it was going to be that big like that, especially against Sami. They've taken him on as one of their own, and it was just incredible, and it felt really good. And something I've done this year is I've learned how to track different types of metrics online regionally, and I can see, even just based on metrics, that I have a huge fan base in the Middle East. And I just thought, I wonder, online doesn't always necessarily track to live. And I just thought to myself, I wonder what that's going to be like. And sure enough, we all saw it. And I was very honored. That's the best way I could put it.
The cross effect is one of my favorite things in wrestling right now. You've mastered this method of anarchy in some aspects. You pull out the realities of their personas, and you must force them to change, but on their own. Because you've said too, I've watched a couple interviews. You were like, "Oh, that's not my fault, right? I didn't do anything to change these people. That's completely on them." You're embroiled in this process right now with Sami Zayn. What makes you so frustrated about Sami Zayn not being true to himself, as you have put it?
Well, because he's a rotten human being. He's not a good person. He's a giant bag of scum. He is one of the best professional wrestlers in the world of the last three generations. And it was an absolute privilege to be in the ring with him. I will say that. I sincerely do believe that. But he's not a good guy. And I really resent the fact that people are able to tread through the business, through this industry, and get all these amazing opportunities and because of fan support, and they're not actually being their authentic selves. And I find it really vile.
I know someone else that's kind of vile right now is that rotten rat bastard John Cena. I know he's on
Yes.
his retirement tour. But one thing I don't think that gets talked about enough, there's a video of you. I can't remember if it was last year or the year before. John Cena's in the ring. He's doing his thing, the hustle, loyalty, respect. And there's you staring out of the corner backstage, watching him. It's almost like you foretold this entire thing to happen. And with this heel turn that's happened, what did you see in John Cena that maybe people didn't see before? And what's one thing you'd like to tell him now?
Everything that people are watching now, I saw coming. It's so funny that you pointed that video out. I saw this coming miles away. That's what people really like. You know, people, we can see what they're actually like when the cameras are off. And I'm just glad that John Cena is being his true self. That's all I can really say. I don't necessarily have anything directly to say to him. I'm just glad that he actually has the honesty, unlike Sami Zayn, to just be who he actually is.
There's been some, I guess you can call it ridiculous discourse on the wrestling sphere on Twitter these days about this idea that you're not taking any back bumps.
Yeah, my back, man.
Yeah.
It's spinal. It's spinal.
I've heard it's very spinal. Now, I've literally watched you do this like 100 times on television, as have many others who've come to your defense. What do you make of some of this madness, and what, if any, has been your favorite back bump that you've taken since you've been back in WWE?
It's hilarious. It's hilarious. This story has not stood out to me as much as other stories that were fabricated about me over the years. Like, there's been far more crazier things. I'm surprised this one, of all things, actually got any traction. I don't know. What's my favorite bump? Nothing comes to mind, but maybe some of the ones that people hyper focused on and thought that something was wrong. I don't know. Maybe one of those would have been maybe my favorite one. It was funny. Some of us were joking in the back. They're like, "Dude, you should go out there and bump like Shawn Michaels versus Hulk Hogan." And then some of the guys were like, "Maybe you should just take absolutely no bumps. Just
Yep.
just don't take any at all." But
Don't sell a
I
thing. Not a single cell had to be done in that match. Nothing. Yeah.
right. But honestly, at the end of the day, like, I can't do either of those because people are paying good money and spending very valuable time watching the show. I can't turn the show into a joke for like a strange subculture of people. I can't do that, right? So obviously, as a professional, I would have never done that. But we were howling about it.
What so far in this process that you've experienced with the swell of support has been the most meaningful or the most impactful for you?
Well, I could say the support online has been the most impactful, but honestly, the support online translated to live audiences. Sometimes you can't see it because, I mean, let me rephrase that. You can't see it the way I see it because the segments are so short, and where they are in the program, what came before it and what comes after it, sometimes it gets cut off. But a lot of times, the chants and the reactions are going long past where you're seeing my segment end.
Right.
So being there live is a different experience, and I always encourage people to watch wrestling live if you've never done it. If you're just a television watcher, go to the shows live and you'll see. But I guess I have to say the live audience has been the most impactful and meaningful to feel that they're actually there. There was a quiet criticism that it was just something that existed online and it was going to go away. And I was like, you guys are out of your mind. Like the soar in the t-shirt sales for Kross, that was coming from the fans online. You cannot diminish and generalize that all fans online are just these critics. Obviously, no one is going to write and book for negative criticism, but they will write and book for positive support, and that's exactly what I've been saying. And like I say, I encourage people to keep it positive, because that will track. I've always said that will track positively for business.
Now, I know two things I want to talk about. You have some cool projects coming up. Life is Fighting, your book that comes out on August 5th, which, thank you. It's a great birthday present. That's my birthday. So thank you very
Yes.
much.
Thank
You,
you.
sir. Already pre-ordered with the signature. So thank you very much. What
You're
was
welcome.
it? Tell me about the book and what can people expect from it?
People can expect authenticity. So I've gone through multiple panic attacks thinking about this book becoming available to the public, because I did write it in a very vulnerable place. I've gone on to say I kind of felt like I wrote the book naked, but there, writing a book about all of your triumphs, and putting yourself over in a book and making it sound like how great you are, and making it sound like you've achieved these unattainable things. Like, I was a kid that grew up with a lot of unidentified issues,
Hmm.
like most people. And I didn't talk about them for a very long time. So I felt like I was in an isolated situation, like most people. And what I'm hoping people will do is, when they read this book, aside from having a good laugh, because there's quite a lot of dark humor in it, that's rooted in my soul. I have a very dark sense of humor. And I feel like that will resonate with people. I want, like, a kid like me who didn't have a book like this when I was young to pick this up and be like, oh, like, I'm not that different from him, and perhaps with the issues that I have that I'm learning to identify, like I did, I'll be able to achieve this thing, that I want to do, whatever that may be. It might not be becoming a pro wrestler. It might be getting a job in a particular field, or going to school, or learning a trade, or just learning how to have better relationships with people. The more you know about yourself, the more you will learn about the rest of the world. And I feel like if you're able to process your own stuff, and put it out there onto paper, and people can read about it, they'll go, oh my God, not all this is me, but that one thing in there is me. And if you can connect those puzzle pieces, that's how you grow. Like, pressure and misery, in a very weird way, it's kind of like a privilege. It doesn't feel like it is. When you're in the thick of it, it feels terrible. It feels like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. But if you can keep walking, and you can figure out how to get out of that tunnel, when you look back at it, now there's something to take from it. And I feel like all of that type of stuff, it prepares you to be a bigger person in life. And that's really what the book is about. It's a memoir about all this stuff that I had to figure out, and what I got out of it on the tail end of it.
I'm very excited to read it. That sounds like it's right up my alley. I too struggle with a lot of that stuff in my own life, and I feel like I'm going to connect with it really well. So go and make sure you pre-order the book right now. Life is Fighting. I'll drop a link in the show notes for you as well. Blue Evening. I'm very excited about this film. What was it that drew you to the character, and how excited are you to see it released?
The character was troubled. When I read the script, the character that I'm portraying in that is a figure who can help, but he has his own issue that he's trying to get through, which will be alluded to in the film. He kind of has to get over the perception of someone else in order to help him, and figure out his own perception in the process of that. I thought it was really interesting, and one of the things that drew me to it was a drama. Like, everyone's been telling me I should be doing action films, and I was like, guys, I'm open to it, but I've been doing action for about 11 years now at wrestling. They could see me do action on Mondays, and I thought it was an excellent opportunity to demonstrate some sort of range of motion. And even for me creatively, there's a lot of different strokes on the canvas, so to speak, that I won't be able to paint with Karrion Kross, and I love playing that character, or Killer Cross, depending on, don't know, I'm going to have another viral moment, but it's that's what drew me to it. And right now, just so people understand, because it's an independent short film, what we do is we put this through festivals, and, like, it's independent festivals. The first one we did was Pasadena, and we were nominated for 3 awards. We got one award out of that, which was for our lead actor. He absolutely killed it. And now we've actually been accepted to the Burbank Festival, which is huge. It's another official selection. The
Nice.
date as to when Burbank is going to release that to the public is going to be coming very soon. So I'll keep people, up to date on that. But um, I what I got to do the first time in the Burbank screening, I got to sit in the audience, and yeah, we got an award, and we got nominated for awards, but the real reward was seeing how people reacted to the film in the audience. People were crying, people were laughing, people were cheering, and there were like several films that were screened, and nobody did that for any of the films except for ours. And we
Oh,
felt
wow.
just like man, it touched our heart, like that the film, people were affected that much by the film. Again, just like I do in wrestling with this film, I want to make a connection with the audience, and I feel very firmly that that's going to happen. And once it goes through all of its major city independent festival screenings,
Mhm.
eventually I will release it to the public. But there will be a chance to see it in Burbank, and I'll be dropping that date really soon.
I'm very much looking forward to it. I love the dramatic turn. Also, as someone in recovery as well, who does work in recovery, I love the story with it as well. So I just wanted to say thank you on that. What's one thing that you want the fans to know about their support and this work that they're doing with the We Want Kross movement?
It's being heard by me, it's being heard by everybody, and it's not falling on deaf ears. And I know that it's just the nature of people. They want to be heard, they want to be felt, they want to be seen. We all do. It won't happen overnight, and if you feel really strongly about it, just stay loud because it makes a difference. It absolutely makes a difference. The people, fans all over the world, are the reason why I was on Night of Champions. This was this was something I was told about last minute. This is not something that was in the works. I want people to know that they made that happen. They gave me the time that I really, really have wanted for years now, to be able to go out there, tell a story on television, and then blow the match off in a PLE with something, like with a unique psychology. Nothing else was like that on the card. I got to approach that completely differently with Sammy, and that's that's completely, that happened from them, and that will continue to happen if they stay loud. So, it's all for something. I'll tell you that right now.
Karrion Kross, I want to thank you for your time, sir. Don't forget, in the show notes, you can find the link for Life is Fighting coming out August 5th, arguably the best day of the year. Blue Evening will be out as well very soon. And don't forget to check out Kross on Monday Night Raw on Netflix. Check your local listings for start times. Karrion Kross, thank you so much for your time, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Book tour's coming early August. I'll keep you posted.
Please do, sir. Love to come out and see it.
This episode of Foundation Radio is hosted, recorded, and produced by Adam Barnard. Additional narration and production is provided by the executive voice, Sam Krebs. Our mixing and engineering, as well as our intro music, is by Carl Pinnell. Our outro music and additional musical accompaniment are produced by Enrichment. Follow Adam on X, or Twitter or whatever, and Instagram at This Is Goober, and follow the show on X and Instagram at FND Radio Pod. Find our entire show archive at foundationradio.net. This has been a Butts Carlton Media production. Butts Carlton, proprietor.